Thinkergirls.
Your girls are here,
Hello,
everyone.
girls.
Look how lovely you guys look.
Well, we're dressed for a nightclub because that's what it feels like at the moment.
It's a bit like that in here.
Welcome to it.
We should have just come straight from being out.
Yeah.
Have you ever done an all-nighter?
No.
Yeah.
When was the last?
One says yes, one says no.
So one's an all-nighter, one's not an all-nighter.
Not anymore, but yeah, I've definitely done a few.
Back in the day. Oh, when I used to work in a cafe, I did.
Oh, because no one cares.
I didn't give a shit about
You're
that
like,
job.
this is not a soy latte. You're like, whatever, take it and go.
Yeah, she would spit in food.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
You're a spitter.
Yeah, well, I used to put, when I worked in a chicken shop, I would chuck people's schnitties on the ground that I'd hated. Yeah.
What would constitute hating them? What would they have to do for you to hate
they'd
them?
be mean, or I'd breathe on their chicken and all that
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
But
So it does
then
happen.
she
Wow.
justifies it because she deep fries it after, so it must just
It's
kill the
100
germs.
degrees Celsius,
Yeah.
all the germs get killed.
That
It's
is
fine.
true.
I want
What
to
are
talk
they-
about. Can I move on from the
Yeah,
dishes?
please.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I want to
Really
get right
trouble.
into it because I need your help with this one. Kissing on dates has changed dramatically since I've started to get older.
Oh,
And
really?
I feel like the actual initial kiss is moving further and further away from the first date to the point where it's giving me extra things to do my head in about. And I
mean you're
don't
not
know
kissing-
why.
You're not kissing on the first date, you mean?
No.
And the anticipation to the kiss is building and making
almost
it...
killing everything,
Ah.
including my brain cells and any kind of initial vibe that you get. You know,
Why-
when you first go on a date and you're attracted to them, obviously, to some degree, and then you kind of have this nice night. Everything goes well on the date, PS. So we're not thinking a bad date. Because
Yep.
obviously that equals no pash or no anything. Or sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, but in the ones that you care about, and then all of a sudden, I feel like the rules have changed a bit. As you get older, the more you care, the less you do.
No, it's funny because my
Really?
friend, she went out on a date with this guy and she'd had 2 to 3 dates with him and he was so lovely and they were, the chemistry was really there and he'd put his arm around her and hold her hand. But
what
she
a
said,
wombat he
she
sounds
said
like.
he's still, no, he's a model, right? He's a,
Sure he is.
no, he's a Dolce Gabbana model.
Oh, what? Well, he's a
Oh,
gay
can,
then.
can you show us a photo after this?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
And
Did it work out with your friend?
no, it didn't.
Oh,
This guy's
excellent.
still on the market, by the way.
Maybe do you reckon it's because guys, the older that you get, is it that they're trying to be more respectful?
I doubt
that
it.
what it
I'd
is?
like to believe that, but I don't think that's it, and I don't know why. But there's
It's
something
really
weird going
strange.
on.
So I ended up, this particular person I'm thinking of, I ended up eventually kissing a couple dates later and got drunk and said, "What's with the delay?"
Yeah.
Classy, not saying. And he was like, "Oh, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm not going to pounce you. Like, it's a different headspace." And I don't know if it's where everybody starts to have more on the line, the older you get. Like, things mean more,
But
maybe.
then it puts more pressure on it. And the awkward thing is, what about if you really like this person, you're really invested, and then they end up being a really bad kisser?
Well, that's what I mean. There's
Oh,
more.
yeah,
There's more
there's all
weight
of
into
that,
it.
yeah.
But at the same time, I was kind of thinking also maybe it does mean more, and is that such a bad thing? Because then you don't, you're not putting your tongue in anybody's mouth.
I think that's good.
But come on, let's actually go back to the reality of it, which is you go on a date to get something that you're not getting from your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Otherwise,
Look,
then it just becomes
it's
a friend
fascinating
thing.
to sit here and watch you imbeciles talk about this because seriously, if there's no kissing on the first date, there should not even be a second date. I'm giving you
Really?
a fiddle.
Really?
I'm giving you a fiddle on the first date, just so
Oh.
you know. Sorry, that shocked you a little bit.
Fiddle is
confronting
aggressive.
for
I
me.
think
No,
like
it's
a.
not aggressive.
Well, it's I don't know, a brush of affection.
brushy,
Fiddle's
fiddly,
like you're going in.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
That sounds very interesting.
It's
Intrusive.
an insertion.
Sorry,
Inside us.
okay.
That's
You-
just bizarre.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Too much.
Well, it's entering, isn't it?
yeah.
Listen,
it's
this is-
inside.
We're not 16.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's right. You're allowed a little bit of a
Isn't
fiddle.
that weird how it goes backward though? I've never thought about it. Like when you're 16, it might even be more full on. Like
Yeah.
you're doing
Yep.
more at 16 maybe on a first date than
Exactly.
you are at 26, 36.
So
Yeah.
I might as well give up because if I can go out for dinner with a date
Yeah.
and then end up feeling the same as I'm with my dad, then what's the
Yeah,
point?
Do you
No,
know what I
good.
reckon you need to do? You need to initiate
Well-
the kiss a little bit more because you're waiting for it and they're going, I want to be respectful. Maybe you're the one that needs to pounce.
But what
and
do
do
they
it.
think is that?
actually have to do everything.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
It-
Yes.
like,
What
come
about the
off
brush
it.
of the Todger on the way out the car?
Todger?
The penis, I think.
Sorry. I'm using an Elton John. I'm using
Elton
an
John calls it
phrase.
that. Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, get the Todger out." Anyway.
A brush of the todger.
Just like it could be an innocent brush. like
Maybe
where
we'll
you,
talk
where the
about
guy
that
doesn't
another
know.
week, but let's focus on the kissing
No, yeah,
of the
you're right.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
How
a shame
boring.
that guys aren't moving and you feel like you have to make the first move these days.
I
And-
think
The self-doubt thing.
Yeah.
then it starts to go, and it's not I'm not at a point where I'm like, is it me? Do I look disgusting? No, I take really good stance in what I look, and I know that if you're interested, you're interested. I'm not going home crying about it.
No.
But at the same time, is it really to the point where you feel like you have to be the one leaning forward?
Sometimes
You
a
know,
man
for
doesn't
everything.
know. Do I go in now or will I get shut down? I like this
Yeah.
girl. I don't want to do that. I don't want her to think, oh, you creep. It's very difficult because of all these magazines we've been reading. We've read your Dumb Dollies and your Cosmos.
Yep.
Very confusing, all these things in there.
Yeah.
For you,
Yeah.
imagine
Not for
for
us.
us.
I know.
Yeah.
Is your body language open though? I
This
could
is what
imagine
my
that.
friends
I could
say.
imagine
Oh,
that
yeah,
it
right.
would be right because you're a toucher and a feeler. Have you noticed that? Like when you come
Yes.
say hi, you touch arms. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
would
I
feel
like
that.
you.
Yeah, I know. But the guys that you're on dates with, is your body language open
Are you
like that?
touching them?
Because
No,
maybe
no
it's
touch
not.
a brush on you.
Well, I'm not
Yeah, well, it
foddering them or
confirms
whatever
that.
that was, but I maybe not. That's something I might have to consider.
Take on board Carl's advice. I would have thought.
and brush people.
Todger brush, and then they know it's on.
They know it
and
is
then no
definite.
Todger brush, then they
It's
definitely
off.
know not
Don't
to.
do the Todger. But be yourself because you are a very touchy, nice person.
Yeah. How do you touch someone you're on a date with without it being like I'm
On a
filling
shoulder?
you up?
Yeah, shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
really?
thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you for the day.
there is a trick. There is a trick. Like there's an old man's trick. I don't know whether you've heard it or not. But if a man touches you gently, just every now and then, just on the arm, like, oh, let me tell you something, and then the little touch on the arm.
Oh, yeah, they
that's
say that.
supposed to send little electric.
See, I would take
Pulsing.
that at this point. That
you?
sounds
Yeah.
really nice.
So guys maybe need to
Yeah.
take note out
God,
there if you're
you don't
listening.
want to ever be on a date
touching.
with me, you'd be destroyed.
I think the other thing is this whole kind of obviously it's very important to make sure that the equality's there and everybody
Yes.
is treating everyone with respect, and I absolutely am all for that. There is not a question, but I suppose there also may be in a lot of decent guys this kind of fear factor of
The
how
waiting.
far do I
Yeah.
go?
I reckon
Or
there
I don't know.
is.
Maybe that's a factor.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So car
I think we've solved that problem
So
today.
go forward if there's attraction.
Guys, yes.
And the
if you're
touching.
listening.
You don't have to grope people, but just go in for the kiss if she's looking like she's
Nothing
interested.
wrong with a
What'd
bit
you
of a
say?
grope.
Is
There's
it
a
a
lot.
gentle touch?
Just a little. It's just a fingertip touch. It's just like just
A
touch
tap.
on the arm.
Okay,
Just-
okay.
Not a tap. Just a touch. Like let me. Something funny happened.
I like
little
that.
Yeah,
tiny
that's so
gentle
nice.
touches. It just gets the electricity going.
You've shown your gentle giant
Yeah,
side
you
today.
have.
Yeah. And then hopefully you get some car head at the end of the day.
Oh well, he's thrown it
Oh
in there.
yeah, he
There
had
it
to
is.
bring it back.
Jackie loves it. She knows. Good Gold Coast girl.
Yeah, go.
Oh, there it is. It's
She
out
knows how to finish the date off.
Thanks,
Guaranteed he'll be ringing tomorrow.
The Thinker Girls. Catch them tonight, 7 o'clock. Thanks, girls. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go.